2025 was absolutely unhinged when it comes to viral books. Some were chaos wrapped in clever marketing, and others were, well, that's what we're going to talk about today. So let's get started. Welcome back to Between the Covers with Danielle. It's lovely to have you join me. This is the channel where we talk all things literature with a dash of champagne. I'm Danielle Robinson. I am an ex-fashion stylist and makeup artist, but I also have a double degree in theology and philosophy, and I am also a writer, researcher, and investigator. Today, what we're going to do is we are going to go through 7 of 2025's most viral reads. I've read them for you, so you don't have to if you don't want to, or perhaps this might encourage you to go ahead and have a go at reading them. But before we start, let's have a look at what we're drinking today. This is Moet and Chandon's 2009 brand vintage rosé. And I have already had some, so trust me, it's delicious. So why don't you go ahead and pour yourself something delicious before we settle in. Let's get going. First up, we are going to slip between the covers of Katabasis. This book was pitched as Dante's Inferno meets dark academia. We have magic, we have logic puzzles, we have underworld politics, and enough philosophical content that even I felt a little bit challenged at times. It is a story that builds very gradually with a lot of depth and theoretical content. It's definitely a thinking book. It's not an easy read where you just drift off into another world and forget everything outside of it exists. This does challenge you. It could even be described as slightly exhausting. But if that is your jam, if that's the type of book that you like a challenging read, a decent sized read, but that still has a strong plot, then this would be a great book for you. I would rate it 4 stars, so I would say it is mostly deserving of the hype. Next, The Secret of Secrets by Dan Brown. This is Dan Brown doing what Dan Brown does. We have puzzles, we have cryptic clues, we have mysteries, we have subplots, we have threads, and we have really challenging theoretical ideas. Particularly in this book, we are put in the space of considering the possibilities of utilizing our consciousness while we are alive, how our consciousness functions, where our consciousness goes after we pass on. And there's also a touch of romance in here as well. It is adrenaline pumping, it is page turning, and it is fantastic. I would rate this 4 stars simply because it does take a long time to get to where we want it to go. So as far as the hype, another one that I would rate as Mostly. Next, let's talk about the latest Thursday Murder Club mystery. This is the 5th book in the series, and still you can tell by the way Richard Osman writes his characters that he truly loves them. And it makes us feel as though we know them and they're part of our family. We have Elizabeth freshly mourning the death of her husband. We have Joyce baking and saying ridiculously comic things. Ibrahim is still trying to delve into people's psyche. Ron is dealing with family drama. We have a kidnapping. We have explosions. We have cryptocurrency. There is a lot going on in this book. And for me, that makes it slightly hard to believe. Although I have loved every other piece of work in this series, I feel that Richard Osman is now potentially trying too hard. He's trying to find extra in-depth, complicated mysteries for this group of lovable retirees to solve. Unfortunately for me, I rate this 3 stars simply because I do feel that it's trying too hard. So as far as the hype, I would rate it as mid. Okay, it's time to get a little bit domestic and suburban with Mad Mabel. Sally Hepworth is an Australian author, and I do love to support Australian authors. Mad Mabel is now known as Elsie Fitzpatrick. She's in her 80s, and she has managed to dodge her childhood reputation and her history for a very long time. She lives in a lovely little quiet suburban street. She keeps to herself as much as possible. But as a child, she was known as Mad Mabel because many tragedies and coincidentally followed her. She was extraordinarily tall for her age and part of a very dysfunctional family. When she was 14 years old, she was charged, convicted, and imprisoned for murder. She's managed to outrun and hide from her history for a long time, but eventually that comes out. There are lots of other beautiful little subplots, love and nurture and things that happen that bring Mabel out of her shell and out of the hardness that she's built up over time. This is a truly extraordinary story. It's laugh out loud funny, it's harrowingly sad, and it is heartbreakingly real. This 5 stars. I can be a bit of a hard marker in case you haven't noticed. For me, this is a definite 5-star read. If you have not read this already, I highly encourage you to go to the bookstore, go to the library and get a copy. It is a page turner. It's very hard to put down, and you will be thinking about her long after you close the book. Does it live up to the hype? Absolutely. Do you love fantasy? Do you love magic? Do you love a book that you can really invest in that doubles as a doorstop on a windy day? If so, then Alchemized might be a great book for you. It's definitely a commitment, but it's worth it. It spans 2 time periods. We step into Helena Marino's story, the main protagonist, in the present time where she's actually lost her memory. And through the process of regaining her memory as she's a prisoner of war, then we get the full picture of what has happened to her and her relationship with the male protagonist in this story. It's set in a war between 2 magical factions. We have the rebels and then we have the evil necromancer. As the name suggests, we have alchemy, we have necromancy, vivimancy, animancy. It can get a little complicated and overly descriptive when it comes to describing the magic. They have an element called arrays that they use for their magic. So from that perspective, it can get a little bit tedious and arduous, but it's a fantastic investment in time to get to know the characters and dig into a very, very richly thought out and richly written story. My cat is very used to me reading all the time, but even he got a little frustrated with how much time with this book and took a little bit of a chunk out of it. So as far as this is Senlin Yu's debut novel, and I have since researched that Legendary Pictures have bought the film rights for it. So that will be interesting to watch when it comes out, although we all know the book is always better. So 4 stars for me. Did it live up to the hype? Alchemized? Mostly. Oh, Gabriel Allon. He's suave, he's sexy, he's cultured, and you definitely want him with you if you're walking through a dark alley alone at night. Danielle Silva has been writing Gabriel Allon for such a long time that he potentially would know him as well as he knows himself. An Inside Job, the latest Gabriel Allon thriller, is no less exciting, but it's more mellow. It's as though Gabriel and Danielle Silva are maturing. Gabriel's more content to live the quiet life. He just wants to restore his art and spend time with his beautiful wife and daughter. And in this mystery, he stumbles into another one completely by accident, simply because he's incredibly observant. It's still exciting. It's still a page turner in places, but it can get a little bit overly floral with the prose when it comes to locations and describing Venice itself. There are different places that it travels to, but we have an explosion, we have corruption, we have embezzlement, we have murder, we have all of the ticks of the boxes that you would expect in a Gabriel Allon thriller. I did love it, but 4 stars for me for this one, quite simply because the prose can get a little overly descriptive, and I find that at times I felt it was a little tedious. Did this one live up to the hype? Another mostly. Charlotte McConaughey is arguably the queen of eco-fiction. If you've read Migrations or Once Were Wolves, you would be familiar with the beautiful landscapes that she paints for us. She's very passionate about the climate, about the planet, about ecology, and this book, Wild Dark Shore, is no different. In here, she's actually elevated her game. It's set on a fictional island called Shearwater, located somewhere between Tasmania and Antarctica, which is actually a research base and houses all the remaining genus of seeds of flora on the planet. Due to global warming, Shearwater is slowly being submerged. That's not the main component though. We have the female protagonist who journeys to Shearwater, which is very dangerous. She ends up shipwrecked because her husband is the chief scientist and he is missing. She arrives on the island to find no scientists, just Dominic Salt, the caretaker, and his 3 children. So we have a mystery as she tries to uncover what happened to her husband, Hank, but we also have the ecological drama in there with the island submerging, the potential loss of the seeds. There are also family dynamics and dysfunctions involved as well. It is a beautiful mystery. The landscape's magnificent. It's stormy and moody with inclement weather and waves crashing. You have penguins and seals and birds. I rate this one 4 stars simply because it was a little bit drawn out again. Some of the times where the plot slows down actually draws your attention away from the depth of the story. It's still absolutely beautiful. It's just won Dimick's Book of the Year. Definitely recommend it. Did it live up to the hype? For me, mostly. So there we go. 7 of the most hyped viral books of 2025. 5 of them definitely worth the hype. 1 riding on the coattails of previous works, and another will live rent-free in my heart for a long time. Thank you for sipping champagne and slipping between the covers with me. If you enjoyed this episode, please like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you know when I have another one ready for you. Also, please leave a comment. Let me know if you agree or disagree with my reviews or critiques of these books, if you have any others that you recommend for me, and let me know if you have tried this particular vintage of Moet and Chandon, and let me know what you think of that as well. It's been a pleasure spending time with you, and I look forward to sharing some more of my thoughts soon.